preprocessor. This is something you may not need very often, but when you do need it, it's good to know it's there. Let's start with a working copy of working.c out of our chapter 4 folder here and paste it into our working project and open it up in the editor. So interesting thing about this is that it works everywhere. It doesn't work just in preprocessor directives. If I put in a backslash here, right in the middle of this string, and press the enter key, well, of course, Eclipse is going to try and give me what it thinks I want as opposed to what I actually want. So I need to come and clean this up a little bit. But you see that backslash followed by the new line, and I can't select the new line there, but that backslash followed by the new line is the line continuation sequence. And when I run this, I'm going to go ahead and save it and run it. And I'm just going to hit this run in the background button. And you'll see that it says hello world all on one line. In fact, if I were to move this over there in the middle of the word hello and save it and run it, it still puts it all on one line. And that's because this is what's called the line continuation sequence. It's backslash followed by a new line will be completely folded out and ignored by the preprocessor. The preprocessor will reassemble it. And the real purpose for this is when you're defining macros. If your macros are very long and you want to pretty print them for your own purposes, a macro needs to actually be all on one line. This is not a valid macro. The macro ends at the end of the line. There's no other indication of where a macro ends. That's just a quirk of the preprocessor and how it works. The way that you get around this is with this line continuation. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to define a fairly complicated macro here. This is a common swap function that you'll see now and then. And it actually uses a do loop. And the reason that it uses this do loop is so that it can have a block. And so it doesn't actually do any looping. It just does that. And we use the line continuation character to put it all on one line so that the preprocessor knows what's going on. And I can put my lines inside of here. I can say A exclusive OR equals B and a semicolon, and then another line continuation character out there. And I'm just going to copy this line 3 times because this is the way this macro works. And so now I've got this macro defined with these line continuation characters, and it's still fairly readable. And so I can come in here and I can say int this equals 7 and int that equals 9. And I can printf this is %d and that is %d with this and that. And I'm going to make 2 copies of that. And in between them, I'm going to run the swap macro. Now, when I save this and run it, we'll see this is 7 and that is 9. And then this is 9 and that is 7. So it's a common little trick. It only works with integers, but it's made readable by using the line continuation sequence. So the preprocessor provides a useful line continuation feature using the backslash new line combination. This is really convenient for making complex macros more readable. Now let's delete the working file and run clean to get